So let's dig in and get started. Was the meeting properly noticed?
It was,
Do we have quorum?
yes.
All right, let's do pledge of allegiance. Please stand. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The meeting at 6 o'clock and for owner Floyd McCollum.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Charles, as a point of order, can I ask you?
Sure.
It's a pleasure. My wife is also noted to speak.
Yes, sir.
We have 4.5 minutes between us. I know that's less than
6 minutes.
6 minutes. But I mean, our talk is approximately 4.5. We're happy to split it, or if you can cede it to me and I can do the whole 4.5, whatever,
Is everyone good with that?
whatever you prefer. Okay, all right. Board members, from the beginning of the community in 1996, every new resident of Celebration received an email address, first name dot last name at celebration.fl.us, as an amenity, just like Lakeside Park with its pool, playground, basketball court, volleyball courts, tennis courts, and the room we sit in right now. For me, this was my first email. To this day, is my main email for literally everything: email, account identification, logins, etc. Effective January 15th, 2015, CROA did away with our amenity by no longer hosting the community celebration emails, purportedly due to maintenance costs. For those of us who submitted and signed a consent agreement, I have a copy of here, and I'll send you one if you haven't seen one before. With CROA, prior to that date, our celebration email accounts were no longer owned by CROA, but per the agreement, owned and handled by Google and Proactive Information Services LLC, who became our new email provider. Per this signed agreement with CROA, which clearly states, quote, Celebration Town Hall will no longer have access to issuing, updating, or troubleshooting any Celebration email account effective January 15, 2015. And further, in the signature block, the agreement states, quote, I am aware that effective January 15, 2015, Celebration Town Hall will no longer host my email address, and all hosting, ownership, and troubleshooting will be owned and handled by Google and Proactive Information Services LLC. Per this agreement, those of us who submitted the signed agreement agreed to be charged $60 a year per email address for our new service provider, Proactive Information Services, to maintain our emails. At the June 10th, 2025 tech meeting, Mr. Doors, Grand Manor's new IT person, brought up the topic of terminating the Celebration accounts and stated, quote, just as a quick background, I think back in 1994, Celebration was designed and built by Mr. Walt Disney's area. They created this email account for all the citizens, all the residents of Celebration to get one, but it looked like it never really took off. And now it's just not a cost-effective product, end quote. Apparently neither Mr. Doors nor the CROA liaison nor a single member of the tech committee knows the history of the Celebration.fl US email, as it was a very popular and important amenity and extensively used by thousands of residents until it was abandoned by CROA. It is true that the majority of residents did not keep their Celebration.fl.us emails, mainly, I contend, due to the poor communication from CROA, whose management company repeatedly told residents they couldn't keep their Celebration email and had to get a new one from another provider. I can personally attest to this, as that happened to me on 2 separate occasions in conversation with management staff. With these mixed messages sent from management, and now a fee for something that had clearly been an amenity or dues since the founding of the community, only a small group ultimately retained them. Fast forward 6 years to May 31st, 2021, Memorial Day. I emailed Proactive Information Services to alert the 24/7 help desk that sometime on 4:31 p.m. May 30th on the weekend, both my wife and I no longer were receiving email on our Celebration.fl.us accounts. The owner of Proactive Information Services LLC responded to me via telephone within the hour, stating, quote, unfortunately, I no longer manage the emails for Celebration. Town Hall took over the emails, end quote. Contrary to statements made during the July 9, 2025 CROA workshop, the owner said nothing to me about his company going out of business and simply stated CROA wanted to use the domain for something and had to take the email system back to do it. Well, you can imagine our surprise as we learned CROA had breached our agreement and taken back our Celebration.fl.us emails, which they no longer owned, and further did so with absolutely zero communication. We were not asked, consulted, or even informed of CROA taking over our Celebration.fl.us emails. I immediately emailed Patrick Dumais, CCMC, IT person at the time, sole administrator, and also CCMC, the management company of the town, of the issue. Patrick confirmed that CROA had taken over the domain and would address our email issue. On June 1st, another day later, it was fixed. My wife and I both plan to keep our Celebration email addresses as they are our main ones. And we have extremely happy with the cost and the 24/7 help desk service that's available from Proactive Information Services. Frankly, we were surprised that the board, the tech committee, and management met to discuss and make recommendations regarding our emails based on inaccurate and incomplete information that clearly creates a skewed basis of perspective on the issue. We will be responding back to Ms. Gunyon by the 7th. We've contacted all the people. We know how many want it. They still want it. Not very happy. And so we'll be back. But thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for serving. That was a thankless job.
Thank you.
Do you have a copy of the document that was signed
I do not.
back in original? Lloyd, would you mind sharing that document, the original document with Lauren when you send her that email?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'll forward it to the board too.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Dennis Doe?
My name is Dennis Stout, 925 Crooked Road near Celebration. Up until April, I was on the Master Plan and I think Advancement Committee. I'm no longer on that committee. It's my own boss, so I'm not here to talk about that. But while I was on the committee, I agreed to take on the responsibility of looking into the maintenance building restroom, which came up as a question from this. And I'm no longer here to talk for the committee, but I am saying that as part of what I did, I went down and talked to the people and looked at the building. And I committed to them, I'm getting the information to you. So I'm here tonight to get that information to you. The good news up front is that there is a sewer connection and water connection in that building. I didn't know that. Nobody else did either. The sewer still works. It's clogged up because it's not being used, but it does have a sewer. So which means the big wild card on how much it would cost is no longer there. There's not going to be a sewer connection fee. Talked to an acquaintance, a contractor who's working on my house right now, doing the bathroom. And he gave me a ballpark estimate somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000 to install with parts, including an inline water heater, a restroom, something like. He didn't want the job, but he just said that would be about what it would cost, $15,000, $20,000, excluding any permits you might have to get. I don't know if there'll be any required, but that's the other issue. So that's how much it would cost probably. The other thing that you need to know is there are some OSHA requirements for restroom access by employees. And Florida OSHA, which requires that we follow federal OSHA standards, and Florida has some of its own, requires that a facility with 1 to 6 employees provide a restroom, a single restroom that provides adequate privacy, a working toilet. And that's not a porta potty, but a working toilet, a working hand washing facility, and a working hand drying capacity. And that we don't have there right now. There's some question, and I don't know how strong OSHA is right now. The issue is requires proximity. It needs to be readily accessible. That depends a lot on the location. But as a general rule of thumb, historically, for a permanent site, it's been a 10-minute walk is considered accessible, readily accessible in a permanent work facility. Transit temporary facilities are a little more vague in that they require proximate access. But Florida has extended it to one extent for agricultural workers. A restroom they need a restroom access within a quarter mile. So that's the standard. That's where you are today. There is no restroom there. It probably doesn't meet OSHA requirements. Depends on whether people are going to be there forever or not. But the issue that I guess I say is OSHA makes rules for people to provide minimum standards for their workers.
Thank you.
And I think it's up to the board
No,
to
appreciate
decide whether or not it's within your capacity to provide the work.
Yeah.
standards.
it. Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, Dennis. Thank you.
Can we add that, is that on the master plan agenda?
It's kind of fallen off, but
Can
I'll
we
add
do
it back
that
on.
again?
Jim?
Probably the last thing you probably want to hear about is maintenance. But as you know, in May, we had to change it to by all renters and village. So we had our first one on July 13th. And all renters were invited by the property manager at the apartments in Island Village. Not a single one of them showed up, not a single one of them signed up. So I guess, I don't know how important it was that we had to fight the renters, but it was interesting that night of the meeting in May, and Donald told me, probably no renters are gonna show up because they don't care. Anyway, so that's a little update. I've also mentioned at those meet and greets that we support local businesses, and particularly those restaurants that are not downtown, supported by Lexington, and a lot of them are not supported by Canopy. So we had the Great Greek Mediterranean restaurant, if anybody's been there in Celebration Point. I just want to read a quick email that we received afterwards, Nikki and myself, from Rebecca, who's there, and she's the Great Greek district sales manager. Quote, I just wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank you for allowing us to be part of your community and serve your wonderful residents. It was truly a pleasure to cater your event. And we're so grateful for the opportunity to bring a taste of the Great Greek to Island Village. From beginning to end, your residents were welcoming and so kind, which made everything run so smoothly. Seeing everyone enjoy the food and connect with one another is exactly why we love doing what we do. Thank you again for trusting us with this event. We hope to partner with you again in the future and continue building this relationship. So we're planning our next event in September, and if any of you people on the board want to join us, hope you do. On a separate note, I would like to just personally thank the other members of the Finance Committee and the board members who were able to attend some of our workshops over the last couple of weeks. You know, it's been a challenging year for the 2026 budget with an initial 18+% increase and trying to get it down to single digits. I just want to thank everybody for all the hard work and the compromise that you need to do for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Nobody stand there, please, because everything is going to interrupt me insane. Constant clicking and just a note going forward. We do have a, never mind. Sorry, Jim. We do have a renter that wants to speak. Is that okay with everyone? Okay.
Yes.
Is it Carol?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to come up? And so if you don't mind giving your name and address?
It's Kirill Peronian, 1102 Banks Rose Court.
3 minutes. Yeah.
I was told that you will have the materials that I emailed.
Is this the appeals?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So
It's later on the
the we'll, so we'll handle that. So
So it's an hour later.
Well, it's.
So we'll
it's
adopt the
further down
agenda.
on the agenda.
Yeah, okay, a little bit further. So when we adopt the agenda, then we can get into the discussion.
Well, we'll do that now.
We can.
When you
yeah,
adopt
we-
the agenda.
All right, so I think any other comments online? No, okay, good. All right, so is there a motion to adopt the agenda? Marco? Okay, I know we want to do some changes, so discussion.
Pull consent A to action A.
Yep.
And move the appeal to the next thing.
What, B?
You're-
Or B action?
And I'm fine if we just move it to the next action, next thing we do.
We want to appeal
Oh,
first.
yeah, it was before
So
minutes.
appeal-
Consent. Then before.
So right before we get into, okay, so appeal. And then consent agenda, CCFC landscaping, and their action items. We're going to one thing on consent. Anything else? All good? Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? All right. So now we are in the appeal. Kind of. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to hear the appeal first? Or do we want to get into the motion? Who wants to
give
give us
you-
the summary?
We can give you the summary.
Okay.
So while management agrees that the art committee's decision falls within the design guidelines, our recommendation is that we suggest the resident resubmit and work with ARC on getting to an approval.
Do you want to come up and you're welcome to discuss? Yeah, if you want to come up and talk through kind of what's going on. And we'll go from there.
Be able to pull out the pictures.
Yeah, and feel free to sit, yeah, if you want to sit down or whatever's comfortable. I'll take pictures now. Sorry, it's a little unorthodox to do appeals during the board meeting, just trying to.
Yeah, I was told that the dedicated meeting got canceled.
You were the, yeah,
You were the-
you were the appeal, so we.
for a separate meeting.
We're just trying to consolidate and make it a little bit more
So,
straightforward. So, you want to go through kind of what?
yes, the reason provided for the original denial was that the proposed lights are visible from the street and that lights shall not be permitted along sidewalks, entry walks, or visible from the street. However, after receiving this response, me and my partner walked around the neighborhood and documented multiple homes that currently have landscape lighting installed in the exact same way we proposed, along blade walks, near sidewalks, and fully visible from the street. And that's just in one neighborhood. I'm attaching this photographic evidence of the homes for your review. I also have them figured out if you prefer. Given this, I believe the decision of our application was inconsistent with current enforcement and appears unfairly selective. The lights we proposed are standard, low-profile landscape lights intended to enhance safety and curb appeal, just as they are for other homeowners. I'm also compelled to share a personal concern. As far as I can tell, the only visible difference between our home and the others with similar lighting is that we display pride flag. While I hope this isn't the case, the situation has left me feeling singled out, and I feel it's important to raise this in case implicit bias or unequal treatment is influencing these decisions. I respectfully ask the board revisit the request with fairness and consistency in mind. I'm happy to provide any additional details or work collaboratively to find a solution that meets both aesthetic standard and the community values of inclusivity and equity. This is the request for our house, and then a lot of images that I emailed display other houses that, if you do not, just I'm happy to pass. On top,
Are these solar lights?
yes, there's all.
Is that what ARC's issue was? I believe that's,
And there were several other properties of the solar land.
Yes.
Similar to
Sure.
That was not an exaggeration. Other properties display the same exact models with that. Probably running the same Amazon link.
What is the ARC's position on this is?
They what?
Denied it.
For
Per the design guidelines, lights shall not be permitted along sidewalks, entry lead walks, or visible from the street.
I mean, I do agree that that's not consistent anywhere in town. I get the solar thing, but those are actually very bright. Your recommendation is to send this back to for ARC to reconsider or work through because this is inconsistent.
Yeah,
Those, if you pull up the image of our place, it's just, I think it's my camera that made them brighter because they are not bright at all and not interfering with any lighting and other neighbors. They're low profile and kind of just giving a glow. And I'm gonna do, when I was taking a picture, like scroll it up just so that the reviewers could see it's easier.
I know it does say in the guidelines that solar lights are not allowed for the purpose of when they die and degrade over time, then they're like barely on and they don't look good for that purpose. But this is definitely a solar light and this light isn't allowed. I mean, these are good examples and we all know they're everywhere in town, so.
And if we approve this now, then we set a precedent too, which is another consideration. And I understand it's in town, but basically then this is not something that the ARC, we were looking to streamline any of these or change any of these, right? This was not anything in the pipeline to our knowledge.
The
I don't think it
main
was.
difference I've seen from this to others is mainly landscape lighting is within landscape beds instead of within the lawn.
Right.
That would be the only reason I could see that would
Half of the houses on Longmeadow have that though.
a lot, yeah.
And many other places in town. I just know that one at night.
So along the sidewalk, they're not sticking out more than even, I would say, half the feet because we try to keep them lower. So it's not like it's a standing and reaching the eye.
On the spectrum of egregious violations, this is fairly low,
Yeah.
in my opinion. And it's something, if we're all comfortable.
I mean,
I struggle because they're not permanent fixtures.
Yeah,
That, if they were permanent, I would vote right now
Correct. Yep.
to keep them.
but also they're not being permanent means like if there's, if the concern is with the solar lighting, that over time they dull out, you can replace it
Which will.
easily. Just pull it out and put in a new.
Yeah, because an inspector has to identify. That puts it back on the association to.
Yeah, in fairness, we've seen exactly what you're talking about. There are some that are
Mhm,
just along the sidewalk dead and pointless.
mhm.
We have no design to have. That's the
Right.
point of having them is actually
Right.
have illumination. It's not to leave a dead piece
The
of plastic
bullets,
in the
yeah.
front yard.
Is to have it working.
Yeah, so I understand the conundrum here.
Is there any path to sending this back to ARC just to work through? So would you
Maybe
be,
location.
right, location or some solution that somewhere meets us a little more in the middle, a little bit closer? I think that's, again, I think the obviously we do this, then it does create, yeah, precedent. I don't know. I'm open to what anyone else, I think we should consider sending this back to ARC. And maybe again with the home, see something else.
Does this
Been
need,
a big discussion within I wish Eric was here because he could probably answer better. We have an ARC liaison who we could ask this to, but
well, we can put this, we can suspend this as an action and bring this to ARC and maybe redefine what that guideline is
Mhm.
and just suspend this until,
Yes.
we did that with actually festoon lighting.
Yeah.
And this is. falls in the
because
same
if it is,
category.
if a lot of residents have it, then it's going to probably be coming up. So we should probably maybe.
Table it to refer to ARC.
Yes.
Yeah, to
Okay.
look
I'll
at
make
it,
that motion.
to discuss it, and maybe if they can see these, I don't know if that.
This is a bigger problem.
So we have a motion to table and refer to ARC. Is there a second?
A second.
Okay. So the motion on the table, we'll call the question in a moment. Because it's your issue and then some other issues in town, I think we just need to have a larger conversation with the committee. So this is not us saying it's approved or denied, it's just that it needs further discussion. Is that fair? For you, for right now?
You don't have to do anything.
There's nothing you have to do.
The violation is suspended.
Just pause. We're just gonna
Temporarily.
pause on it while we have some discussion with the committee and figure out the solution.
So in the
Is that fair?
meantime, we still cannot have those lights.
You can leave it as
You
is.
can leave it as
Yeah, leave it as is and then, so,
And we'll get notice after your decision.
yes.
Is there an approximate timing for?
When are we meeting next? Is it gonna be on the agenda?
They just met this week, so it'll be in about 4 weeks' time, is their next
So you've
meeting.
got 4 weeks to leave.
But they can't, I mean, this is something they can
They can talk offline.
talk offline now, as they do a lot of their.
So.
We'll have our community standards manager reach out to you by the end of the week, just to kind of talk through the next steps.
We don't on the end. Would the communication be over the email or over mail? Or just in person, like knock on the door?
She'll call.
The phone number in the application or the phone number
In the
registered?
application.
Okay, good. Okay.
Good. Okay. All right. All in favor? Opposed?
And we'll notify the owner that everything's on pause and there's no clients.
Yeah.
Yes.
See you all. Good to go. Thank you for.
Can we send the communication saying this is on pause, so that 45-day is ticking and they have a document saying,
And covenants doesn't, yeah, so. it's-
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll cover them both on the owner side and on the ARC side.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Would you like to keep the pictures or should I keep them? I'm open to, whichever.
Something probably gonna need to discuss.
You can
yeah, you can have them,
What?
whatever.
I'll-
Management, if you want to give, hand them to Jacob, maybe he can just, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. It was, good discussion. Okay, so
Call the question.
we did.
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, unanimous.
Yeah, we're good.
Thank you for adjusting the agenda.
Good, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we are in the approval of minutes. Do we have a motion? Does someone want to approve?
Motion to approve both.
Here. Second?
Second.
Your marker, where you second?
Any adjustments, any discussion about the minutes? Once told, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions? Right, June financials, right? Okay, come on down. You can sit. If you want.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know we already had like a brief discussion with the finance committee and the board member about the year financials, but we'll go over them again. As some of you already know, we ended up in the month of June with a deficit of close to $39,000, which is $11,000 over what we had on the budget. On the revenue side, we've been doing consistently good. Thank you. Thank you for the Now, on the expense side, the main drivers continue to be the same. It's going to be repairs and maintenance, it's going to be pool operating expenses, it's going to be safety and security. You already know that safety and security, we're going to end the year over budget due to the additional pool operating monitors that we hire from the Mayberry security company. Now, for repairs and maintenance and pool operating combined, they both had an overage of $15,000, which is not good. But when you compare that to the overage that we had last month, which is close to $85,000, then I will say that this is a positive step on the right direction. Now, I do want to point out something else. You're going to see on the June financials a big savings on the landscape and irrigation line. That saving is mostly due to timing. We are expecting to spend that money, a good chunk of that, later on during the year. So I just want you guys to be aware of that as well. Now, I forgot to mention, we have been able to the efforts of bringing up to the board sending out. We've been able to lower the accounts receivable balance from $1.2 million to $681,000, which is also positive. Now, moving on to the year today, unfortunately, we're sitting at a deficit of close to $115,000. Main drivers are going to be the same: safety and security, repairs and maintenance, pool operating expenses, and the explanation in the history is going to be similar to what we're experiencing on a month-to-month basis. Now, to close this out, the fund balances are going to be this. We have on the operating side, we have $457,000. We have on the reserve fund, we have close to $1.2 million out, from which $456,000 are going to be liquid. And then on the capital fund, we have $4.1 million, from which $306,000 are going to be liquid. Questions?
Just want to mention that the Mayberry, when school starts, right?
Yeah, it's going to be.
That's going to go back down.
Yeah.
It's just for the summer.
Yeah. And the agreement was for about $80,000, something like that was that one. So yeah, so that should be the overage that we'll see at the end of the year on that line.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Jim, do you want to speak about the budget meetings?
Sure. You know, like I said, we started with the 18% increase, and fortunately, we had 2 budget workshops with the board to go through this, and with the finance committee. We've been able to compromise on a lot of different things. Obviously, you were correct when I said probably only 5% of the population knows who CROA is. Because I've asked about 15 residents in Island Village, and not a single one of them knows who CROA is. So they won't understand when they read the letter that Katie, that you did, which is very good, as to understanding what that result is. But that's what it is. And we're increasing, obviously, the replacement 1.4 million versus 1.1 million this year because we need to, because of all the fixes that we have to do in the community. And that's also affecting the budget. So, but all in all, right now, I think we only have 1 or 2 items left to resolve. One is taxes, which Ray and I are going to talk to the auditors about. I reached out to a former finance committee member. She said that the auditors are supposed to get back to us last year with budget details on the tax information and which form they were filling out. But we never got it. And things passed and nobody remembered it. So hopefully we'll start getting that from the auditors, because they're the ones who should know if we have to pay taxes or not. So
I'll add an update on the CROA CJC cost sharing agreement. They had a meeting yesterday.
We had a metric meeting on Monday.
Monday.
And then they had further discussions, and then I got the email I shared.
In their further discussions, they, Kanoa, well, in our last CJC meeting, there was an out clause where they said that they could just give a 60-day notice and be out of that. I said, no, we can't do that. They went back and talked about that. They're sticking to that. And now do they not only want an out clause, they want it prorated. So for example, if they give a 60-day notice on their cost sharing agreement in February, they want a 11th, 12th prorated credit back from CJC for them pulling out of that agreement. Now, part of their argument is they don't have an option to leave the management company, but CROA and CJC do. We all have a 60-day out with Grand Manners. Kanoa doesn't have that. And so that is something that we do need to address because they're tied in based on what CJC and CROA does. They don't have an option.
I think if they were contributing a percentage, that would maybe make more sense, but a flat rate is just like a flat rate. So if they want to like look at it as more like a partner and contribute a percentage to the CJC budget, then that makes sense. Otherwise,
They don't.
well, then I mean, it
That's
doesn't.
gonna make budget finding also a challenge if they can just say on a 60-day.
Yes.
So that's a whole,
So I think we need a CJC meeting next Tuesday. So if we can schedule that, I mean, just see everybody's availability, obviously, but Monday or Tuesday of next week, we need to just continue this conversation. But we are to the point where we need to, and I guess, Charles, I'm speaking to you as a CJC member, we're going to have to decide if we're still playing along or if we're just going to push through what we want to push through. I think we're at that point, both calendar wise for our budget and negotiation wise, we've played nice for.
Is there a
9 months.
quick question on that?
Yeah.
Has Kanoa ever said with the reduction, they're going to be giving that back to the businesses, or are they just going to keep it themselves?
it seems like they're just not getting the services and that's, I don't know if they're
They
reinvesting that back.
they have plans for that funding, but
That's what I'm asking.
that
because
would benefit Celebration as a whole.
Just out of curiosity, can we dissolve CJC?
You can, it's a board action,
When you say board action, that's a CJC board?
CJC board.
CJC is the only thing that holds Kanoa accountable for their inspections.
Yep.
So if CJC goes away, they can decide, we don't need to inspect our properties. Our fences can fall down around town. Our buildings don't need to be upgraded or maintained. If CJC goes away, they can do whatever they want.
Is Eric the third member?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is he gonna be available for a Tuesday meeting?
Well, we'll find out.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm available next week, so whatever we need to do.
Thanks, Jim.
Cool. Okay, do we need to vote on financials?
No.
All right, I don't understand it. Done with it. All right, well, we did the CJC update, so let's do committee update.
Well, that's finance also.
Did you want to
You wanna
discuss
do
the
it?
letter?
Yeah.
Sending a letter to the community.
I mean, I think like the goal, like from what I understood from, I think, is it our last workshop or board meeting, was to have some sort of proactive communication to the residents to set the expectation of what's going on with the budget. So we can be as transparent as possible for residents that may not be able to attend all the meetings. So an email letting them kind of know where we're at, kind of what some of the issues or drivers are for 2026. I think it's better to send it as soon as possible because otherwise there's really no point.
So are we all comfortable with it going out? Like, can we all just, yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, yes, Margaret, yes, yes.
I know I said we should delay as we talk to CJC, but that's not going to change anything.
Yeah. So finance committee's on board with it, board's on board with it.
Send it to
You
them.
guys are good to go? Okay, great, awesome. Do you want to go to dog park or anything else?
Dr. Park is electing a new member. Is that on the agenda?
Yes.
Other than that, no, I have nothing else with dog park and master plan is continuing on. We had the 851 contract. The AIA contract, as Mark Matero recommended, that's being reviewed. That puts us in a good position for that. So bids are out for 851. We're waiting for those numbers to come back. Contract is under legal review. It's been through committee review and it's in legal review, so the contract should be done before we get numbers, which is good, because then it's really just, here's what it costs, are we doing this? And then the contract is ready to go. Those are all my committee updates.
Katie?
For communications, I was gonna have the chair downtown come and give us an update. Thank you.
Good evening, downtown, 518 Long Meadow. We got our team in place with the help of Katie and Jen, welcome addition to Grand Manners. We've got a good team in place, and our first focus is going to be the magazine. We want to do some kind of a slight refresh of the magazine. We don't think it actually speaks to the residents as it once probably did. And so we've been speaking with the publisher of the magazine, and we look at tweaking some things and making it more accessible. And one of those things is the submission form. There was not, in the past, there's never been any kind of protocol or way to submit an article or a photo for a submission for the magazine. So with Jennifer's help, she created a like a one-sheeter, which I think you guys are going to talk about tonight. And so if somebody, a resident, wanted to submit an article, story, photograph, this is how the protocol and how it would be addressed. And then the communication back to the residents would be, we want to hear from you. You have an article, a photograph, a news item you want to be incorporated into the magazine, we want to hear from you. I think some of that's been lost over the generations. And so that's kind of where we are on that. And once we get that solved and World Hunger, the next thing is the website, the celebration website. I think there's some opportunities to freshen that up and clean that up. And I think one of the other things that I wanted to mention, I don't think residents as a whole understand that the magazine is of no cost to them. It's a part of, it's all ad driven, revenues added, pays for that magazine. And the publisher told us that he had 4 or 5 magazines that he used to publish. And you know, the magazine business isn't what it once was. But he wanted to keep Celebration because he thought it was very important for the community, and it pays for itself. So from a business perspective, he thought that was okay. But he thought it was the flagship magazine for the HOA, his business. And so he's willing to work with us and try to figure out how to update it, how to make it fresh and more accessible for our residents.
Question. There's a sentence in that proposed instructions that says committees can submit input every other month. So does that exclude the Celebration Foundation, which has always had a monthly article every month?
I don't have the answer for it. That's what we hire these guys for. To vote on that, and it's a work in progress. So I think
it wasn't negative, that was a positive.
Yeah.
Because Celebration Foundation is not really a committee, but they have an article every month.
Right, and some of those things are not going to change. The second, yes, that'll probably always be the case. I would say off the record, maybe the sheriff's one pager could go smaller, and maybe
We're trying to get it to come out.
and a big, well, you bailed out first. But anyway, so
Good stuff.
that's where we're at.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah, thank you, Don.
Good stuff. Yeah. Anything else?
Good.
Bill?
Tech committee,
Thanks, Don.
they're working on the digital IDs and trying to figure out how to add pictures to the app. That's one thing that would be needed. A resident, Mr. McCollum, talked about the celebration.fl.us domain name sunsetting. I think in the beginning, that service was a free service provided by Google. Google sunset all of their free plans except for nonprofits, and even those they're starting to charge money. So it's not that it was an amenity provided by the community, it was a free service provided by Google. And then Google decided they needed to make money off of it. And if you keep it, it's like $8 a month now per account. $8.75 per month. So even the $60 that they agreed to pay to hasn't kept up with the times. Then there was some conversation about the camera system, merging the old and the new, and coming up with guidelines for that. So
Is getting the faces on the digital IDs. Why isn't the vendor figuring that out?
when the import happened from the old system into the Gallagher system, the photos that are taken by town hall were in a specific folder, but they weren't matched up to the IDs that were brought in. So that was something that the IT team at the time, not current, not strong with. So it's something that they're gonna look at how to incorporate and tie those back together.
Okay.
They are working with the vendor
Yeah.
to get it to happen. It's not just the IT committee and team.
But they're being helpful.
They're working with the vendor.
Yes.
It's my understanding that vendor's not very helpful.
Is it Pro,
Which vendor?
is it ProTech or is that?
Yeah.
Do you want to do CDD update while we have you?
I don't have any major updates. So
That's fine. Okay.
on their budget, that's all.
Okay.
Talking about Park and Rec and lifestyle, we have 3 new partner programs coming. We also have Adventure Health Kickball for 2026, it will be great. We review the past events, we have the 4th of July parade, was a tremendous success. We have some complaints about the time, starting at 8 o'clock instead of 9, like we did last year. But in the end of the day, it was better because we don't have any heat stroke like we had last year. So the 4th of July event was even better with the DJ shows and the fireworks. Fireworks was a share cost with the CROA and Lexington, I believe something around $34,000. And the home expo is coming. It's very well organized by the Park and Rec. I don't think that the concert is coming. The 2026 anniversary is where our focus is. We're working very hard to have a beautiful anniversary with a lot of news, how can I say? We want
Giving it away.
like the drone.
Yeah.
They're planning something really great and nice for the 2026.
Surprise.
It's a big surprise. Yes, thank you, Katie. And we had a big compliment to the staff, Parks and Rec, who worked super hard under the heat, under the rain, after hours, breaking down, setting up. We are blessed to have them here. So this is my update. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, and the 4th of July parade was awesome. So, yeah, it was awesome. Really, really nicely done. All right, I guess I'll go. We met with Terry Castillo this month and good conversation. We're going to meet monthly with her as she starts winding down her responsibilities on the commissioner side, and just positive discussion, just continuing to build the relationship there. County, we talked with Aggie and a good conversation there. They're in their budget cycle right now. We see a lot of things going on there with funding and other questions. We did talk about potentially bringing Sheriff Blackman out for a meet and greet. So that is on the radar, something that we're going to.
Jessica.
Okay, so that's positive. We want to continue to repair that relationship. I should say repairing it. We want to foster that relationship with the county. I know in the past we maybe haven't been so great. He did do a great job promoting her event. It seemed like there was fairly low attendance, so we got to get better about that and just making sure we promote that in our channels and work with her, obviously. So county conversation was good. We haven't met. We were supposed to connect with Natalie, I think.
Yeah, I had a one-off meeting with,
Okay.
a last minute call meeting with Tanner.
Okay.
Because he had some questions, because they're trying to get everything ready for their sales and understanding all the deeds and celebration.
Okay. One thing.
So they did agree to give us a small space in phase 4 of Island Village for a maintenance space. It's the size of a 1-car garage, but beggars can't be choosers, I told him. So it's gonna be by the mail center and be right at the T of the entrance. So at least it's a good location for them to take off from, and we could store supplies there. It'll be close to
Are they providing the structure?
I have not verified that with him yet. I'm waiting on that one. They're still planning on installing a heater in the pool. Again, the cost sharing specifics aren't there, but he's come down off the original 50-50 split he proposed a lower split on our end. So hopefully that stays in place. We're just still trying to assist them as much as we can on the deeds and restrictions side and understanding our processes and how things work here. And that seems to be helping in them being willing to work with us.
Yeah, I think the pool heater one, we need to continue to watch, obviously, because, and that space too, just to make sure these don't die on the line. Covenants is doing, well, I think we talked a little bit about the extension process, we had some dialogue around those and just making sure we're all on the same page around when we're issuing extensions and when general discussion around that. Yes, we lost a member of covenants. Technically?
Have you gotten anything writing?
No, then no, okay, then no, we have, but never mind. It's sort of a question, sort of not. So covenants and then service areas, can we say we have a new service area director starting when?
August 11th.
August 11th, okay, so what is their name?
Alex I butchered that. Giordatis.
Okay. So, and I think we need to revitalize the town hall conversation, getting the service area town halls together. So cool. I think that's it. I didn't hear anything, Merrick, about condo council or ARC. I don't know if anyone else heard anything, but I think things are going okay.
Condo Council did hold its meeting this month, as those are quarterly. It had lower attendance, but it still had some good conversation in it.
ARC is going okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
They're moving through quite well.
Okay. Don doesn't do anything. No, I'm just kidding. Don, well, foundation. Absolutely. Hey.
Trying to figure out, Don made it look very easy sitting here and being able to talk to both sides. That's right. But that sound was getting on my nerves too. So good evening, I'm Kathleen Scipio, I'm the Executive Director of the Celebration Foundation. I also want to thank CROA and the Grand Manor staff for the July 4th parade. That's such a favorite tradition in town, and to showcase all the community organizations in one thing is not an easy task. But once again, kudos to everyone done so very well. I am going to, in the summer months, focus on education. So I know school's not in session, but we have a lot of things planned for the foundation when school resumes. So I wanted to share that with all of you. We are launching a new program called Life Launch, which I spoke about two visits ago. And that is a financial literacy program for juniors and seniors up at Celebration High School. We've gotten a lot of feedback from families and parents on the foundation saying we would like more for the youth. And of course, financial literacy. The parents can try and teach the children, but sometimes when Charles Schwab comes and teaches you over a period of 12 months, it sounds different. So they get community service hours for piloting in the program with us, the students, and then they'll get a certificate of completion that they can add to their LinkedIn and their resume as well. That is launching in August. We have a local celebrity leadership model, Julie Carrier, who is doing the Assembly Blast Off in August, where 600 students can come and hear about leadership and taking control of their financial and educational life. Then we have Community Connections, Friday, August 22nd, where you can come and learn about CROA, CCDD, CNOA, and the foundation. And then we have Celebration Lifelong Learning. That open house and registration is Wednesday, August 27th. And at the end of last school year, I just sent an email to every principal thanking them for giving the foundation and the community the opportunity to volunteer. And just so you know, the OASIS volunteer approval process is open for the upcoming school year. So if you want to renew, do it now before everybody else rushes. And I composed an email of how we were involved. So we supported Celebration High School financially in about $33,000. And how we did that was we gave to the performing arts departments. We supported the band camp lunch. We donated 1 smart board. We supported the Booster Club, back to school lunches for teacher and teacher appreciation, the refrigerator at the store market, and the food and snack packets. At Celebration K-8, we supported them in the amount of $18,000 last year, and Island Village in the amount of $28,000. They were pretty similar in their supports, and we supported the Bookmark Buddies program in both schools. Obviously, the teacher back to school luncheon, holiday luncheon, teacher appreciation. But we started something new last year to support the families in transition students that are there on the school campus and might not be able to do the little things that are really big things, like the Scholastic Book Fair, going to the pumpkin patch, non-academic field trips. So we leaned into that for both of those. And Island Village had 120 families in transition students last year. To just put that in perspective. That includes our learning about hunger food pallets as well. So there's so many ways to get involved in the schools. You can join the PTA, it's just an individual or a business. You can sign up to become a Bookmark Buddy. You can be a hunger hero and pack food every week, but our schools need our support. Our students are our future leaders. So I encourage you to reach out to me or any of those organizations and support them. And then lastly, we are ending Christmas in July. And I'm very grateful for the Celebration News platform for the foundation and the Friday Flash because it generates revenue. So we launched our holiday home tour tickets and already have sold some, and the Sparkle Soiree, which is always a sellout. But if you want to get involved in Christmas in July and become a decorator this year, put your home on the tour. They're all a secret until tour day. Please contact the foundation and reach out to us because the first weekend is the 7th. It's a great community event and we couldn't do it without all of you. That was it for me.
Great, thank you. So we are on the consent agenda. We have 1 item. So is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Sure.
I just abstain. I vote for the policy that is
Oh, that's moving that to action item.
We're just doing the MRTA resolution notice. So, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, okay. Now we're on action item A, which is the motion to approve CCFC landscaping vendor United Land Services in the amount of $162,405 annually from the CROA operating fund. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Do we want to invite United? Hey guys, you want to come up? So maybe background and then we can dig into it.
I'll stand here, I'll stand over here.
Whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, sure, I can do background.
Yeah, just
So it's been a struggle over the last few years to keep the Bermuda fields out at CCFC well maintained and keep the maintenance cost in line. So we rewrote the scope of work so they are maintained the way Bermuda fields should be maintained, especially athletic Bermuda fields. Put it out to bid. We had 4 respondents. And the recommendation from management was to go with United Land Services as discussed at the workshop. We've already walked the fields with them, both pre-bid and post-bid between the workshop and now, had discussions with Christian and Nikki. So everybody's on the same page in terms of expectations and communication methods.
how do they look right now? Can you give us kind of the honest assessment?
This is,
Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Chris Marquis. I'm with Client Relations and Business Development. This is our team. I've got John Boland as the branch manager. We've got Jacob Moose, regional construction manager, and we also have Brett Perez, our regional maintenance manager. So I brought all the heavy hitters. I'll let Jacob speak to the conditions of the turf and what he's seeing when he was out reviewing it with you guys.
So right now, the biggest push is to get it playable. So playable meaning it's green, but the level condition has to be brought up, one for safety concern and just playability. Along those lines, we've got to get rid of some weed conditions. Because I can't lower the height of the cut until that's taken care of. So it's going to be a pretty good push, but we're up to it. I know Orlando City Soccer School starts some pretty heavy use in the August time. So we don't have a lot of time, but we have some plans with Nikki, recreational committee, and all that good stuff. So I think we're up to the task.
And who? Oh, good.
So I know a lot of you guys have seen our trucks, you know, on property and seen our guys working, but who all is actually knows what United Land does? So we are a commercial landscape company, obviously, but we actually have a whole sports turf division. So we do maintenance, we do construction. So you may have seen us on the boulevards. We have our own arbor team. We have our own irrigation department, agronomics. We do lighting, pavers. We're basically a one-stop shop when it comes to landscape or your outdoor needs. Now, as she mentioned, your Bermuda field, your sports turf, that is a completely different animal from like your landscaping on your home or your amenity center. It is high traffic, it is, you know, lots of use, and it's completely different requirements from, you know, the agronomic program is completely separate from what you would do on your turf, on your home or on the boulevard. So it's a very temperamental, and the use alone is something, it's a challenge in itself. So the program we put together, we're very confident that we can bring up the standards of the field and not only improve the aesthetics, but overall the play itself will improve as well.
Who is the kind of point of contact day to day?
Your main point of contact is Joel Winternitz. He's not here tonight. He did walk the field with your team. He holds his own pest control license.
Okay.
He's got a fairly in-depth background on turf management. About 29 acres of it just at Swan Dolphin Disney property. So he's your go-to. So we will share contacts with Christian, Nikki, I'll more likely get on a group message, that type of thing. That way we can all hit anything pretty hard.
And then the layers above Joel, so Jacob and myself both have extensive turfcraft science backgrounds. So we'll be able to obviously hover above, and John's gonna be kind of just below us, but managing Joel. And then again, on the Bermuda turf side, I've worked on golf courses, sports fields. Jake's worked on them before. So like we've worked, we're gonna be hands-on with those folks as well.
You guys are here anyway with CDD and doing so.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. Definitely, we're proud to be part of the CED, and we're, you know, we're very just proud and grateful to be part of, you know, talking about you with the sports fields as well.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions?
No, Christian, you're good. Really, this is your thing.
Yeah, I got
you.
Got the thumbs up.
I know it's gonna be
Yeah.
in line, so.
He's got what
He's our guy.
Yeah.
So we've got our work, but you know, we're very transparent. We're gonna bring any challenges that we see, we're gonna bring to your attention. We, our approach is, we're very communicative, but we want to be proactive, not reactive. And that's in the landscape industry, that is very important.
This is being recorded, just.
Just keep it green, please. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Just, all right. So Jared, Katie, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Are you abstaining? Okay, got that? Okay, all right, you're good to go. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
All right. All right, so we are on motion to accept council recommendation regarding CCDD for maintenance responsibilities. Motion from anyone? Don't jump at once. Someone want to make the motion? Marco? Make a second. Second. Thank you. All right, so this we've talked about, basically CDD is giving us the responsibilities for the tree. This is the tree,
This is the easement
Easement.
and the trees and the sidewalks.
which we know is impacting the budget, which
Mhm.
we know is impacting. Does anyone have any other discussion, questions?
Is this just normal? Is there any red flags in this?
It went through their council, our council.
So it went through our council, went to their council, council made the changes that were objected to by your council.
Okay.
My understanding is that the DNRs, we basically have to take it right? Is that because we didn't
We need to take it,
turn it over to them at the initial?
correct.
Okay. Okay. All right, anything else? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. Motion to approve new AC unit at Heritage followed by direct supply tells in the amount of $31,718 from CROA reserve. Is there a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Do have some discussion on our end, just with the
Sure.
current state as well.
Sure.
Christian, if I could have you speak on behalf of the current state of the AC and why we're bringing this up.
So we have this on the agenda for you guys to approve it because it's our all units, we've been doing repairs, we're monitoring. So everything was, as today, we have it as a plan to start the install as soon they can finish next week. Unfortunately, yesterday, one of the outside units get completely damaged and it's not working. So we gonna need to require to put a temporary unit for at least this week to finish the camp. And then if you guys approve this today, then we'll put the new system the following week.
Is this, not that we have any hard plans for Heritage. If there's any renovations at Heritage, this system can still be used with this. This won't change that. Obviously, keeping the same size and footprint.
Yeah, basically the units are built for the size of the building, no matter whatever you do inside there, we need to just move some hardware around and that's it.
Okay.
This is a custom unit, that's what it's taking a little bit of time to get all the prices together, because it's a system that is not built anymore. So companies need to build something newer for us, and a new voltage. And it took a little bit of time and everything was perfect. So yesterday, that unit went down.
So, yeah, I brought this up, thank you, Christian. I wanted to bring Christian up to speak on this, as we've seen some higher maintenance expenses trying to keep this limping along as we've been trying to get quotes, as the quotes have been more difficult since it's a custom build unit. It's not just been a standard bid out for this.
Do we have to do that though? Why can't we just put it in standard units?
So the unit that we have right now, the voltage that is in there right now, the new units are not built to the same voltage. So we need to retrofit the voltage on the Heritage for the new system. And then the space that we have, the air handler unit is not built for the units that make now. So it can be a like-to-like replacement. So basically, the one we're putting now is a customized, same as what we had before, but with new technology.
But did we look at like a transformer? That would still be cheaper to do a transformer and change the voltage and then.
The thing is, we need to change that, but we also need to change the unit because the units that we have there now, they're from the 1997. And they use R22 refrigerant that it's not on the market since 1997. So it's very expensive to keep repairing those. The units are already 20-something years old. So that need to be completely out. We need to rephase the electrical and rephase the entire AC system.
So what is the voltage and what is it going to?
So the ones that we have now, they're single phase. The one that we have there is a three-phase.
Three-phase. So that it should actually be more efficient, lower cost of operation.
Yeah, everything gonna be, and then now it's only one unit on the closet, 2 units outside. With the new design, we're gonna have a split, 2 units inside, 2 units outside. If one unit go down, you're still having a half capacity to maintain good temperature. Right now, being 1 unit in and 2 out, 1 out is damaged, they can keep up because the inside unit is too big for 1 unit.
Okay.
And this is a reserve funded item.
Yeah, Katie just pointed that out to me, so I have no more questions.
That's good.
Thank
Thank you.
For this.
Yeah, it's funded this year. It's just, and this will help as we've been doing some repairs to get it limping along. It's cutting out a week before we in camp, so we are going to have to bring in a rental AC next week at an additional cost that we just wanted to make the board aware of. And then we should start seeing savings on that line.
Okay. And it's a 1 year, so the 1 year parts, 5 year compressor, that's what looks like the same amount on the warranty. Okay. Right.
Is there going to be increased electrical cost to get the 3-phase in there?
No, it would not.
No. The building part.
Yeah.
Okay.
The building hours, yeah.
We're gonna do some modification to be able to get 2 units instead of 1, but the ampere pool gonna be less than.
Right.
Well,
It's a
30
dinosaur,
years ago,
so
yeah.
it's a dinosaur comparatively.
we're gonna be saving on energy, we're gonna be more efficient.
Yeah.
The dog work gonna be relocated, so it's gonna be more efficient for the
That's
area. So at the end of the day, it will be better for us. It's just that hiccup that happened yesterday ruined the party, so.
And so there's no, this should be able to get it ordered and not.
They don't have to, they don't have to order it. It's in stock. They just have to go pick it up.
Oh.
17's ready to go. But we can't do the work with camp in there because of the
Right.
ductwork that
Got it.
happens. So as soon as camp is done, they'll be given the green light tomorrow. As soon as camp is done, they'll be in there working.
Okay. Good.
And then we'll be back there.
Yes, the
Yes.
August meetings are back at Heritage Hall. This is
Thank you.
last.
In the
Coming
new
back,
air
so the AC broke.
How this month with new. AC.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? Good, thank you, Kristen. All right, all in favor? Opposed? All right. All right, motion to approve reclassification of $9,505.75 repairs and maintenance costs at Lakeside Pool from operating to reserve. Is there a motion?
Second.
Discussion. Straightforward reclassification.
Yep.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion to approve Celebration News Magazine article submission guidelines.
Make the motion.
Second. Jared.
And,
Katie, do you wanna
I
give-
think Don did a good job kind of like explaining the whys behind it.
Yeah, it's nice to see that people can submit stuff.
And we're okay with the Celebration Foundation still having monthly.
I don't think they're like classifying them as a
They're
committee.
not a committee.
Yeah.
This is just like homeowners that just want to submit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion to appoint one additional member to the dog park committee. So the motion needs to be the specific name.
I'll motion for Claire LeBruni as the new member.
I'll second.
Jared, Katie. All right, so we have a motion to appoint Claire LeBrunery, the dog park committee from Jared, second from Katie. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion to approve holiday concert custom build set for Performance by Noir Productions Company in the amount of $19,000.
Second.
Discussion.
This seems expensive.
Yeah.
This seems expensive and this is not a custom set build. This is something that already exists. They're renting something to us that is sitting in a trailer for $19,000. Now, that said, this is within budget. We don't go over budget by doing this, so I'm not gonna mess up a Christmas party, but this seems high. This seems like not a good use of money, but if it's in budget, I will vote for it.
Can you give some commentary around the sponsorship part of the in-kind?
It was, so they, quoted higher at 21,000. We were trying to work that price down and they were able to shave off $1,000 of that, and transfer that into an in-kind sponsorship for the event. Bring it down to the 19,000.
Further discussion? And this is special events as recommended this, I assume. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? All right. Appeals. All right, CROA fee waiver request. Is there a motion to? Jared. All in favor? All right, motion.
I, J, and K together.
I, J, and K together from Jared. Second?
Second.
Marco, discussion? So. No, okay, I'm good. Okay. All right, all in favor?
Right, is it all positive? Yes, good.
Yes. No, it was the,
Suspend, yes to suspend, yes to non-compliance, yes to.
no, I'm thinking about the, accounts receivable. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, all in favor? All right, great. All right, pass bill vote on second quarter contract metrics. So I can't remember what Don did last time. I think we went around and just said if we thought any of these were pass fail individually. And so I guess, does anyone want to start out?
I'll start. I don't have anything that has been a fail. I think all three have passed for all three periods.
I agree.
Bill?
Yep.
Agreed. Yeah, so pass. General comment, I really want to be mindful of the time because I think we wanted to get out of there in 54 minutes. Are you all actioning the feedback in the surveys when there's a poor resident experience? So what are you doing? Because some of those feedback, whatever it may be, right? That like, we're just, our grass is not getting cut properly. Like, how are you, I want to make sure that we're not just approving these and rubber stamping them, but that you all are actually going out and having this.
The grass, I mean, the grass isn't getting, they're anonymous, so we can't address it with the resident,
Right.
but we take I read them all when I'm putting together the metric packet. And we have those discussions with the vendor. If it's a staff issue, then we have those discussions with the staff, if we can tell who it is. Otherwise, generically, we address customer service related items at our monthly staff meetings, just special reminders, even outside of the survey. We do that in safety stuff at our meetings.
Okay. All right, so we're good on that. So
Can we have a brief management?
It's been, summer, we've been moving along. We've had really good feedback about summer camp this year. As we've been, the transition, the restructure we've seen, Parks and Rec and Lifestyles, kind of combining them under one director has helped a lot, especially with this, as summer camp was often a large stress point for the Parks and Rec team, as the Parks and Rec team was needed during the summer in all of our areas, but also trying to run a summer camp was splitting them really thin. This is a lower season in our event or for our events team. So it's been helpful being able to use staffing efficiently for this. And we've just received a lot of great feedback, as you mentioned, from the 4th of July, which was one that we saw some transitioning and staffing in that. So we were excited to see such a good return. Overall, that's it. We had, we moved to our new temporary backup office. And we're able to do that with less than a day downtime for our team, thanks to our maintenance team and our IT teams for handling that and getting the team, keeping them operational.
I will add that I know I say, let's do that quickly because the board gets a report every Friday that takes at least an hour to write to management. But we are well informed on the management report on a weekly basis.
There's a lot of good stuff. I think a lot of the stuff like you all are bringing in-house. I think that's always appreciated. I like what again, Eric always says, and I think we all kind of say like, we appreciate that because especially with the tightening of the budget, I think we're going to have to continue to look at those opportunities going into next year. We can get better and efficient and do things in-house. So
Yes, like let's buy a set. Let's buy a custom set, not rent a custom set, and then we just own it, and then we use it for 3 or 4 years. Like those, you'd rather spend 25,000 on that for 3 years than 19,000 on it.
My only feedback, it got better. I went over to Spring Park Playground, and it looked horrible a few weeks ago. It looks like it's gotten better, like the landscaping. But the weeds were absolutely out of control. The landscaping, I know we just put that in last year. It looked really, really not very dense. So just feedback. I assume it's paying attention. So
One question
Conversations, yeah.
I had maybe like for the board to think about, see if it's okay with management, is like, management giving those feedback surveys, I think it's really insightful. Like I was reading them too, and there's a lot of positive feedback. There's some, instances where there's challenges. It's good to be aware. I know residents are also able to do that for the landscaping vendors. I don't know if it's something we also want to just include for awareness in our quarterly metrics for the board to also be aware of that. I don't know if it's something that'd be appropriate, number one, and if it is, I don't know if that's something that the board would want to request insight into.
Sure.
I'm just gonna note it's labor intensive because it requires me to combine 2 reports.
We're not here to make your life
I
easier.
know, I'm just noting it.
Okay.
Just like on quarterly.
Maybe you don't have to combine them, you can just provide them as separate reports.
I think it's kind of fair because like sometimes I feel like maybe some of the landscaping issues fall under CROA maintenance, and really there is a separation between the two. With the vendor and like what is the duty of CROA maintenance.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, I think it might be helpful to see both and for insight, but I also don't want to make it too challenging.
Yeah.
But just like in the quarterly, like, so every quarter, just do it, not.
I love line of sight, honestly, in some of that stuff, because I do think like the more you get out there and see what's going on, like you see stuff like on social media, but there really is value to going out and seeing with your own eyes. Like I went out with my kids and they were in the playground and I pulled weeds. Like I literally pulled weeds. And I just think that's something, we're paying a lot of money. We have landscaping budget is what, $1.2 million?
On contracts, yes.
So it's a lot of money. We don't want perfection, but there is a certain level that we do need to be able to show homeowners, especially with an increase like that. And I'll get off the pontification train, but that's my.
We've been having those conversations with the vendor.
As we shared in the weekly report, and we do have another inspection on this tomorrow with the vendor and our maintenance supervisor as well on our park specifically. Just to continue acting on weeds are our biggest issue at the moment across.
Right, it's the middle of summer.
In the middle of summer. On some two quick positive notes as well, is the landscaping that was approved for the Long Meadow Playground is far and away in its installment. I really recommend anyone drive by and see that. It's looking really nice.
There are thousands of.
There's over 8,000 plants that have been installed in the past 2 weeks.
It looks incredible. It looks amazing.
And
it looks amazing right now.
The splash pad project, it's in permitting right now. And there's some more phases of permitting it's going through, but our team has been preparing items for that, for the plumbing and electrical runs, and we've been holding weekly meetings with that. So once it starts, you're gonna see it moving pretty quick. We're in line to open it late fall, early winter.
Anything else in management report?
Sir.
Board comments? Motion to adjourn? Motion. Here, second. Adjourned at 7:16.
Reminder, the next meetings are at Heritage Hall.
Okay. Thank you.
Tracy.
Thank you.